The market gave us one of those extremely crypto weeks where Bitcoin tried to stabilize, ETF flows said absolutely not, Ethereum kept fighting for its life near the 2K zone, and crypto Twitter once again tried to summon Altseason by posting through the pain. So this week, Bitcoin is not dead, Altseason is not here, Wall Street is still building Bitcoin toys, and Toobit has 3 new updates, including the football campaign we hinted at last time. The big market vibe this week is not, "We are so back!" It's more like, we're cautiously standing up after getting tackled. Bitcoin is hovering around the 76 to 77k zone. Ethereum is around 2.1k. Total crypto market cap is still sitting around the $2.6 trillion area. So the market is clearly not gone. It's just moving like someone checked their portfolio, closed the app, and decided to go touch grass for emotional support. The important part is that Bitcoin is still controlling the room. Market cap's altcoin season index is sitting around 35 out of 100, which is basically the market saying, nice try, but this is still Bitcoin season. The reason the market still feels heavy is pretty simple. Flows are not helping. Digital asset investment products saw about $1.47 billion in outflows last week. Bitcoin products took the biggest hit, with around $1.32 billion leaving, and Ethereum products saw another $223 million in outflows. That's not just a red candle, that's the market equivalent of institutions quietly pushing their chairs back from the table and saying, I'm just going to watch for a second. And when ETF flows flip from support to pressure, every bounce has to prove it's real. But here's the funny part. Even while the market is acting tired, the infrastructure keeps moving forward. The SEC approved Nasdaq's PHLX's proposed rule change to list and trade Nasdaq Bitcoin index options. Translation, another piece of Bitcoin market plumbing is moving closer to the traditional finance machine. Now, this does not mean trading starts instantly. There are still extra steps involving CFTC relief and OCC updates. So it's not new Bitcoin options tomorrow morning, everyone panic. It's more like Wall Street is still installing new pipes while crypto Twitter argues about whether the house is on fire. And honestly, that's kind of the 2026 crypto market in one sentence. Short-term charts look tired, long-term infrastructure keeps getting built anyway. Now let's check the real macro indicator. Crypto Twitter being completely normal about Altseason. This week, the timeline is basically split into 2 camps. Camp 1 says Bitcoin dominance is still too high, ETH BTC still looks weak, and calling broad Altseason right now is less of a thesis and more of a group coping exercise. Camp 2 says, okay, but look under the surface. AI tokens have been holding up better, some specific narratives are still catching bids, so maybe this is not full Altseason, maybe it's a selective rotation wearing Altseason's jacket and hoping nobody checks ID. So if we take the safe middle ground, we get broad Altseason's not here, but the market is not completely asleep either. Traders are still hunting for anything with momentum, liquidity, and a story they can explain in one tweet without opening a spreadsheet. So the crypto Twitter read is cautious, impatient, selectively degenerate, which, to be fair, is basically its natural habitat. Quick Toobit update, and yes, this starts with the football tease from last week. The $200,000 USDT preseason challenge is live through May 31st UTC. It includes training-style trading tasks, lucky draw chances, future streak rewards, Toobit X Little Liga merch, fan token airdrops, and even FIFA World Cup 2026 match tickets. So go kick it at the campaign page for full details. Toobit also launched a $150,000 USDT volatility campaign for event contracts, covering BTC, ETH, SOL, and XRP. The idea is pretty direct. If the market is going to be chaotic, there may as well be a campaign built around trading the chaos. And for VIP users, VIP R2 is live too, with upgraded trading rewards, an 80 USDT futures position voucher for eligible users, weekly trading bonuses, and hold to earn boosters with listed rates up to 7% APR on ETH. So here's the watch list for the next week. First, Bitcoin's 76 to 77k area. If BTC keeps defending that zone, the market can at least keep the range recovery conversation alive. If it loses it cleanly, you're going to start seeing nothing but red arrow graphics all over Twitter, YouTube, and the news. Second, ETF flows. One green day is nice, a real trend shift is better. If outflows slow down, Bitcoin gets breathing room. If not, every rally is fighting uphill. Third, Thursday's PCE inflation release. Macro is still driving risk appetite, and crypto does not get to pretend bond yields don't exist just because the candles are prettier. Fourth, Bitcoin dominance in ETH/BTC. If dominance stays elevated and ETH keeps lagging, Altseason probably stays outside the club saying, "Bro, I know the promoter." And finally, Toobit campaign deadlines. The football preseason challenge wraps up May 31st, while the volatility campaign and the VIP R2 run deeper into June. So check the dates before you trade, not after. Bottom line, this week was not a meltdown. It was a market trying to stabilize while flows, macro, and sentiment all argued in the group chat. Bitcoin still hasn't learned to share, altcoins are still asking to be noticed, and the next move probably depends on whether ETF flows stop bleeding before traders run out of patience. Let us know what you're watching this week. Is this just a boring reset, or is the market setting up for the next rotation? Thanks for watching, and welcome to Toobit, a bit more than crypto.